Hello my loves and welcome back. In this vlog I wanted to talk to you about why routine and consistency matter for cats. Now this is especially crucial if you've got an anxious cat, but if you've not got a particularly anxious cat it may still be worth a watch because I'm sure you'll pick up some hints and tips that may help. So the first thing is that when cats know what to expect, it helps their nervous system. Now, cats are predator and prey animals, so they are always on the lookout for threats. Even if they're chilled out, laid back cats, even if they're super cuddly, there is an inbuilt mechanism in them, which means that if they hear a noise or something is different or unfamiliar, they're going to catch their breath and just take a moment, because the natural instinct in them is, am I under threat? Is something bad going to happen to me? So when you create predictability in your home, when the cat knows what to expect, it helps them to feel safer, more grounded. And when they feel safe and grounded, when they feel safe and secure, they are able to open up, to come into their heart space, to have a deeper bond, a deeper relationship with you. So it's not only just about making them feel safe, it's about helping them to feel loved. And when they know what to expect, that can really help them. Okay, the second point that I wanted to share is that routine reduces stress and anxiety. So cats are neophobic, right? Which means they don't like change. A lot of them anyway, majority of them. You know, when I say these kind of things, it is a bit of a generalization, but generally speaking, cats are neophobic and they don't like change. So if you are feeding at different times of the day, if like the household rhythm is sporadic or different or varied frequently, cats are going to feel unsettled, and it's not going to help them to feel safe in their environment. Now, I don't know about you, but I love nothing better than coming home to my house and just taking a breath. You know, it's like, it's my home, it's my space. I know the energy, I know like the smell of my home, you know, I know how it feels, and it creates such a level of like internal comfort, and sometimes comfort we're not consciously aware of. And it's the same with our cats. You know, they have their territory, they have certain scent markers, they have certain elements, things that are known. And when we are living in the known, our nervous system, our autonomic nervous system, like our physical bodies, like the stress can just dial down a little. So when you are creating that regular routine, you know, certain feeding times, not necessarily like to the minute, but, you know, around 7:30 or around 4:30, the cat's rhythms align with that. Like even like digestion, you know, that they like ebbs and flows about when it's going to be expecting food, and that helps the physical body and then the mental body, you know, the anxiety, the mental state of the cat as well. The next one is building trust between you and your cat. Okay, now when it comes to our cats, routine and consistency is key. It helps them to feel like they know what's going on. Now, we talk about control from a human perspective. Now, cats don't really have a lot of control or autonomy over their environment. You know, we put the food down, we let them in and out, we put their collars on and off, you know, we let people into the home. What do cats really have to do? So when you can give them a sense of perhaps a choice, or you can give them the opportunity to, you know, have some form of consistency, like I said, it helps them to open up. Now, giving your cat a choice, in my opinion, is one of the best ways that you can help your cat to feel safe and secure. And when you do this regularly, you bring in that routine and consistency. So like we always have colour therapy down in our home. We always have, hang on, spirulina and sunflower oil down in our home. We always have herbs down there. We always have dried herbs down in our home, so that the boys know that they have got spaces where they can go for their energetic and emotional health and support. You know, they know that they can go into the spare room and the colours that are in there, or there is colour in there. Now, I may vary the colours that are in there if they need to be washed, for example, but they know that they can go to that place and support themselves. And when you have that, when you give that to your cats, oh my goodness, the impact it has on your relationship is really truly profound. You know, the more autonomy you give them, the more choice you give them, the more they flourish. It's a beautiful thing to behold, it really is. And when you're creating routine and consistency, it's almost subconscious safety, you know? So like for us with humans, our anxiety, our nervous system, like our fight or flight, may not kind of kick in or be there until like something's wrong, you know, like something's different, something's unusual, something's out of the norm, because your body is like, oh my God, something strange is there, like we need to be prepared. And it's the same for cats. So when you have this routine and consistency, it creates this subconscious level of safety. And I tell you, like, you'll know this yourself. That's a beautiful thing to have. You know, to know when you walk in your door, for me, it's a quiet space. Like, I don't have children. I've got my 2 boys. There's no one else in the home. I know when I walk through my front door, like my whole body can soften, you know? And that's not something to be taken for granted or to be kind of dismissed. And it's the same for our cats. So when they know they're going to have food at this time or around this time, it helps them with their mental health, their emotional health, their physical health. When they know like your rhythm and your routines, like coming in and out of the house, they feel, it feels familiar, it feels comfortable, and it feels safe for them. So routine and consistency are really key when it comes to your feline friend. And you may not be able to do it in every part of your life. Like if you work shifts, for example, you won't be able to create it as part of that dynamic. But what you can do is communicate that to your cats. You know, this week, buddy, I'm doing a night shift. I'll be gone at 11 and I'll be home at 3 a.m. You know, continuously talking and communicating what you're doing with yourself and in your cat's environment really and truly helps. So I would love to hear from you. Come into the comments below and let me know, where have you created routine and consistency in your home? So for me, there are 2 ways that, like I've mentioned, that I love to have in our house. The complementary options for the boys to self-regulate, and meal times. So I am very much guided by them, but generally the boys eat 4 times a day, and it's at certain intervals. So if I'm out for the day, I put a timer to feed it down, or I ask my sister to pop in and feed them, so that the boys know that that's the rhythm and flow of our home. So come into the comments and let me know, and thank you for watching. I will see you next time. Bye for now.